we are delighted to have all those honorable guests at our school tonight for our annual Festival of English. And our festival this year will be for the performing arts in English. We will not just perform a play, but different kinds of performance. We will give examples of how to give a speech, how to give a poem, telling a story, dialogue, and finally a play. So I hope you will enjoy this performance and to encourage our students. And I ask you to please stand up for the national anthem in the beginning. Please lights off. We will begin with now with the speeches. Our first student, Roda Mohamed, will give us a speech. It's a kind of a speech which we call motivation speech. It's a speech that gives the listener some motives about life. So please, Roda, do come in.
That is dedicated to excellence and helping people to be the best that they can be. Everybody wants to be happy in life. Everybody wants to live a perfect life. Everybody wants that great job or successful business. Everybody wants to be married to Mr. Right or Mrs. Perfect. We want to have great kids. We want to have friends that stick by us in rain or shine. We want to be able to have all the possible things that life has to offer, and all our problems just disappear. Everybody wishes for a good life. It may be at different levels. One person may define a great life a way, and another may define it another way. For one person, a good life may be just by having 3 meals a day and a couple of million and a roof over their head. And another, it may be having a couple $1,000,000 and having a huge ranch. There are different levels and meanings to what good life is. For every definition of it, there's perhaps one thing you may have in common with many other people. You might want the good life stress-free. You would like to have it without having to work so hard or struggle so much for it. That is a normal human expectation. Nobody likes to struggle through life. Unfortunately, this is also what may be stopping you from having that great life. The thought of all that work, all the planning, overcoming hurdles, and the resistance is enough to make you stop before even at the beginning of life. It can all seem too overwhelming, and for many, it all just doesn't seem to be worth it. It's like being drained of energy just at the thought of running a marathon. Before you are even at the starting line, the thought of all that running just scares you and tires you so much mentally, so you decide not to go for it. One of my favorite books is titled The Road Less Traveled by Mr. Scott Pick. And the first sentence, it says, life is difficult. Now, if you pick up a book and the first sentence, it tells you life is difficult, you may just think, is this book going to assure and encourage me after such a start? But as Pete goes on to explain, he says, once you truly understand, once you know that life is difficult, once you truly understand and accept it, then life is no longer difficult. In life, you have difficulties getting anything you want. It's very rare to get anything you want without a degree of effort. Only if you win a lottery, then you will get everything. Then you will get everything without effort. And even then, you would have to get out and buy the lottery ticket, so it's not free at all. Life is hard. Your boss will always be the nicest person in the world. Your job will have challenging that you did not foresee. Your workmates will sometimes be a pain. You won't always get the salary and the recognition that you want and deserve. Your clients may not be the nicest people in the world. Life is hard. Your kids won't always be the ideal kids that you want them to be. Your wife or husband is not as perfect as you thought they were when you first married them. In fact, I can guarantee you, they are not. Your house will maybe not the ideal place that you want it to be. And you're not the perfect wife or the perfect husband that you thought you were. Life is hard. Running a business is not as easy as the thought it would be. Nobody is lining up to your business to bring money to it, even though you're a really nice person and your job has great offers. I could go on with these examples, but at the bottom line, life is hard. I don't mean to say in all of this that you don't deserve a break. I'm not saying that you are not justified in thinking that you deserve more than what you have got from life and the world to this point. I'm not saying they are not justified in feeling the way that you feel. I know you have it tough at times. I know you feel that it's all very confusing and just too hard. I mean, you have been worked very hard. You have done all the possible things that you could do. But things just don't need to have worked out as well as you had planned or hoped. It all just seems you have gone wrong and you don't understand how or why. But that's okay, it's normal. That's what being a human is all about. That's what life is all about. Life is hard, accept that. Once you do, you will feel better about your circumstance. Then you think of your situation as anything which is common with every human being. Then you will think of your problem just a part of life. You will no longer beat yourself up about how bad things are. You're not doing so well in an area or another. You will realize that you're only a human being. You make mistakes like everybody else, and you're not perfect just like everybody else. But don't stop there. Accepting that life is hard does not mean that you accept every circumstance in your life and simply go with the flow.
Been tough. We see resources go down and workloads go up. We have seen uncertainty rise. We have all sacrificed. We have given up time with our families. Work has gotten into our personal lives. We've lost our sense of balance. I know some of us come to work every day filled with fear, resignation, and doubt. Yet, in the midst of uncertainty, we have survived. These challenging times have tested our character, but we're not back down yet. It has tested our perseverance, but we're still here. It has tested our team, but we're still strong. Know that you have been through the worst, and it always gets better, unless it isn't. You have struggled, you have stressed, you have worried, and it always gets better. You have stayed up late at night worrying about a future that seems unclear, and it always gets better. The best we can do in challenging times is appreciate each other and celebrate what we have accomplished. Know that despite our challenging times, but we're still making a difference. Don't struggle in silence. Don't struggle in silence. Share your story, not as a victim, but as a survivor. Today, we should be proud. Proud of our souls. Proud of our accomplishments. Proud of our team.
Oh, but I'm sorry, I failed to see just now.
Well, do you understand any of this? Mr. Hani is teaching English grammar again.
Well, to be honest, I don't like grammar, so many things have to remember. Pronouns, verbs, adverbs, and many more.
Oh, so am I. I usually get confused when it comes to constructing sentences.
Me too. I will get more confused when it comes to simple past tense and present tense.
Well, let's concentrate to the teacher. Maybe we can understand better then.
Sure, let's listen.
I plan to see the teacher after this. Would you like to join me?
Yes, of course. Let's meet the teacher after this.
Okay.
Hannah offers limited tickets for free. Where shall we go for this school holiday, Farah?
Oh, I'm thinking about Alex or Cairo. What do you think about it?
Wow, it sounds great, but I would choose Alex rather than Cairo.
Why?
I would choose Alex since there's a lot of places to visit. Plus, my mom always talks about the beauty and center of the seas there. She has visited for many times.
Yes, it's really good. So let's check the tickets and then we can make the reservation for the room directly. Why don't we ask others to join us? I am sure they will be excited to hear the news.
Sure, I agree with you. The more, the merrier, isn't it?
Yes. I'm going to call Minna, Yasin and Omar and ask them whether they want to follow us. Could you please try to contact others? I'm sure they will be excited to know our plan.
Sure, I will call us them now. I really can't wait for the vacation.
Yes. It would be a terrific vacation.
Challenge for our student Mazen Basim from first grip.
Right.
So before listening to Mazen, I will make you all listen to the original poem, the little video. After?
Yeah,
Okay, after, no problem. Mr. Willer suggested to be after, so listen to Mazen first, and then we'll listen to a video to the poem. Mazen, we ready? Just a minute.
From an antique lamp, who said, "Too fast and trunkless legs of stone, stand dizzy." Near them, on the sand, half sun, a shuttled visage lies, whose form a wrinkled lip of and seen as a cold command. Till that its sculptor will those passions read, which shakes the fire, stamped on these lifeless things, the hand that move them and the heart that fit. My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, yea, mighty and despair. Nothing beside remain, round the decay of closest reef, boundless and bare. The alone and level sand stretch far away.
Ancient Egypt, and he gives us not a description for the king, but something more deeper, maybe something about life. That's huge statue, but now it's shattered statue on the sand, and nothing. He said, my name is Ozymandias, King of Kings, look at my work, see mighty and despicable. But where is the king? Where is everything that belongs to the king? It's all
in the sand.
In the sand. We use. Thank you very much. And now for storytelling. A very nice story. I wish you will like it. Farah, please Farah come in. Farah will tell us a story about 6 blind people who tries to know what an elephant is.
The Blind Man and the Elephant by James Baldwin. There were once 6 blind men who stood by the side of the road every day and asked the people who went by for money. One day they heard the sound of many people coming along the road and called out to find out what was happening. A woman told them that an elephant was being brought down the road to work in the nearby forest. They had often heard of elephants, but they had never seen one. How could they have? For they were blind. They asked the woman to tell them when the elephant was getting close to them. When she told them it was near, they walked out into the road and called to the owner. They asked if he might stop for a short time so they could see the great animal, but they could not see it with their eyes, but they thought that by touching it with their hands, they could learn what it looked like. The first one happened to put his hand on the elephant's side. Well, he said, now I know all about elephants. They must look just like a wall. The second felt one of the long teeth that were sticking out of the elephant's mouth. My brother, he said, you are wrong. It's not at all like a wall. It is round and smooth and has a sharp point at the end. It looks more like a spear than any other thing that I can think of. The third happened to take hold of the elephant's long nose. Both of you are wrong, he said. Anybody who knows anything can see that an elephant must look like a fat snake. The fourth reached out his arms and put them around one of the elephant's big legs. Oh, how blind you are, he said. It's very clear to me that It's very clear to me that it is round and tall like a tree. The fifth man was very tall, and he happened to put his hand on the elephant's ears. Even without eyes, you should be able to see that this animal is not like any of the things that you name. It looks like a very big fan. The sixth man was very young, was very old and slow, and it was some time before he could find the animal. At last, he took hold of the animal's tail. "Oh, foolish man," he cried, "you can't be thinking right today. This elephant is not like a wall, or a spear, or a tree, or a fan. Any man who sees it must know it looks like just a rope." Then the elephant moved on. The six blind men sat by the side of the road all day and talked to each other what about they saw it looked like. They could not agree and called each other bad names for thinking something different. Each believed that he knew the answer, but they are all wrong because they only know part of the truth. People who have eyes sometimes act just as foolishly.
All My Sons by an American contemporary writer اسمه Arthur Miller. It speaks about the war and the American dream, trying to analyze what is the American dream and how it affects the American people. هو بيتكلم عن this man is called Joe Keller. Joe Keller is a businessman. Actually he committed a crime. هو ورد للجيش قطعة من الايروبلين which is not correct, فسبب ان 21 pilots died بسبب كراش حصل للايروبلينز دي. بس طبعا اللي هو في شريكه في الشغل هو اللي اتحط في المشكله، هو اللي اتسجن. هو لازال حر طليق وبزنس مان وسين امريكان سيتيزن. احنا بنشوف هنا هو قاعد في بيته جيران فرانك داجاو و يعني would you like me to introduce the whole actors one by one?
It's okay.
It's okay. هنشوف ازاي هو بيتعامل مع الموقف، لان هو يعني بقى بيزنس مان بس في نفس الوقت في احساس ان هو ارتكب جريمه. هل هو راضي من جوه؟ في مشكله ثانيه ان هو عنده ابن اسمه لاري. لاري ده فقد في الحرب، والام لا زالت معتقده ان ابنها عايش وهيرجع بعد 3 سنين من الفقر. بتعيش حاله من الوهم والخيال مع نفسها يعني. وبيجي له ابن تاني اسمه كريس، والابن التاني ده عايز يتجوز خطيبه اخوه اللي كانت المفروض مخطوبه لاري. والام طبعا مش هتقدر توافق على ده، هم عايزين يقنعوها. الموضوع كومبليكيتد شويه. احنا اللي هنشوفه النهارده هو اكت 1 بس، يعني احنا بنقدم بس نماذج للبرفورمانس. فهنشوف الاكت 1 ويعني بدايه القصه دي عامله ازاي. and sorry أنا وقفت ومعلش هنبتدي from the first start.
Where is your tobacco? Tobacco? I think I left it on the table. Gonna rain tonight.
Papers say so?
Yeah, right here.
Then it can't rain.
Hi.
Hello, Frank.
Hi.
What's doing?
Nothing. Walking off my breakfast. That's beautiful. Not a cloud.
Yeah. Nice.
What's today's currently?
I don't know. I don't read the news parts anymore. It's more interesting in the phone ads.
Why, you trying to buy something?
No. I'm just interested. See what people want, you know? For instance, here's a guy looking for 2 Newfoundland dogs. What's he want with 2 Newfoundland dogs?
That's funny.
Here's another one. Wanted all dictionaries. High price paid. Tell me, what's a man going to do with an old dictionary?
Why not? Probably a book collector.
Mean he'll make a living out of that?
Sure, there's a lot of them.
All the king of business going on. My day, either a lawyer or a doctor. Or you worked in a shop. Now,
Well, when I was going to be a forester once.
well, that shows you. My day, there was no such thing. You look at a page like this, you realize how ignorant you are.
Hey, what happened to your tree?
Ain't that awful? The wind must have got it last night.
Yeah. I got a mess in my yard too. What a pity. What would Kate say?
They're all asleep yet. I'm just waiting for her to see it.
You know, it's funny.
What?
Larry was born in August. He will be 27 this month. And now this tree blows down.
Oh, I'm surprised to remember his birthday.
Well, I'm working on his horoscope.
How can you make a horoscope? That's for future, ain't it?
What I'm doing is that Larry was reported missing in November 25th, right?
Yeah?
Okay. Now what we assume that what Kate wants.
Oh, Kate asked you to make a horoscope?
Oh yeah. She wants to find out if November 25th was his favorable day or not.
And what is that favorable day?
Favorable day is a fortune day according to the stars. In other words, it would be practically impossible for him to have died on his favorable day.
And was it his favorable day?
I'm working on it. It takes time. I didn't even see you.
Is he talking sense?
Him? He's alright. He's just completely out of his mind.
You know what? The problem with you is that you don't believe in anything.
And the trouble with you is that you believe in anything.
You know, I saw a movie a couple of weeks ago. It reminded me of you. It was about a picture in a doctor. I think it was, yeah. He was working in his basement, discovering things. And you ought to do this. You can help humanity instead of this.
I would love to help humanity on a Warner Brothers salary.
That's very good, Jim.
Mrs. Adams is on the phone. You dog.
Such is the condition to prevail. My life.
Don't sniff around me. And give her a nasty answer.
What is the matter with her?
I don't know, dear. She sounds like she's in terrible pain. Unless her mouth is full of candy.
Why don't you tell her to lay down?
She enjoys it more when you tell her yourself.
Your son wants to play golf? Tell him I'm ready. Or to take a trip around the world for 30 years.
Why do you need him? He's a doctor after all.
All I said was Mrs. Adams is on the phone. Can I have some of your parsley?
Yeah, sure. You are a nurse too long, Susie. You are too realistic.
Now you say it.
Frank, the toaster. Hi.
Hello.
The toaster's off again.
Well, plug it in. I just fixed it.
Please, dear, fix it back like it was before.
I don't know why you can't turn on a simple thing like a toaster.
Thomas Edison.
He's really very hot. Oh, did the wind get your tree?
Oh, yeah. Last night.
Oh. What of it? Annie get it?
She'll be down soon. Wait if you want to meet her.
Tell her to come over later. I imagine she would like to see what we did with her house. And thanks.
Is she still unhappy, Joe? She's going to get married? Is there anybody?
I suppose, say, it's a couple of years. She can't mourn a boy forever.
It's strange. Annie's here. I'm not even married. And I got 3 babes. I always thought it would be the other way around.
Well, that's what a war does. I had 2 sons. Now I got 1. It changes all that it is. In my day, when you had 2 sons, it was an honor.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Lydia.
Well, I got to see what Frank is doing with the costume.
You want the paper?
This is right, just a book section.
You're always in the book section, but you never buy a book.
I like to keep abreast of my ignorance.
What's that? Every week a new book comes out?
Lots of new books?
All different?
All different.
Any up yet?
Mother is giving her breakfast in the dining room.
See what happened to the tree?
Yeah.
What would mother say? Maybe we ought to tell her before she sees it.
So?
What? How could she see it? I was the first one up. She was still in bed.
She was out here when it broke.
But when?
About 4 this morning. I heard it cracking, and I woke up and looked out. And she was standing right here when it broke.
What was she doing out here? 4 o'clock in the morning.
I don't know. When it cracked, she ran back to the house and cried in the kitchen.
Did you talk to her?
No. I figured that this thing's to leave her alone.
Did she cry, huh?
I could hear her right through the floor of my roof.
She's dreaming. She's dreaming about him again. She's walking around at night.
I guess she is. Dad, we made a terrible mistake with mother.
What?
Being honest was, the account thing always pays off, and now it's paying off.
What do you mean, dishonest?
You know Luan is not coming back, I know it. Why do you allow her to go on thinking that we believe with her? It's time she realizes that nobody believes Larry is alive anymore.
You can't say that to her.
We've got to say it to her.
But how are you going to prove it?
For God's sake. 3 years? Nobody comes back after 3 years. It's insane.
To you it is. And to me. But not to her.
Sit down there. I want to talk to you.
You know, the Trouble is the goddamn newspapers. Every month, a boy turns up from nowhere. So the next one going to be Larry. So
all right. Listen to me. You know why I asked Danny to come here?
Why?
I'm going to ask her to marry me.
But how do you know she'll marry you? Maybe she thinks the same way your mother does.
Well, from her letter, I think she's forgetting him. I will find out.
I don't see why it has to be Annie.
Because it is.
That's a good answer. But it don't answer anything. Look, you married a girl and you're pronouncing him dead. Now, what's going to happen to your mother? Do you know? I don't. Give it some more thought.
All right, Dad. If you can't make it, then I will get it anyway.
What the hell is this?
I will get out, get married and live someplace else. Maybe live in New York.
Are you crazy?
I've been a good son too long. A good sucker. I'm through with it.
You have the business here. What the hell is this?
The business? The business does inspire me.
Must you be inspired?
I want a family. I want some kids. I want something I can give myself to. And Larry and Annie is in the middle of this.
Tell me something. You mean you would leave this?
Yes, this I would.
Oh, well, you don't want things like that.
Then help me stay here.
All right, but don't think like that. What the hell did I work for? Chris, the whole shooting match is for you.
I know that, Dad. Just help me stay here.
But don't think that way. You hear me?
I'm thinking that way.
You don't understand me. Why?
No, you don't. You're a pretty tough guy now.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't understand why. After I worked 40 years and got a maid, why I have to take the garbage out?
Will you do me a favor, Joe? Don't be helpful. This garbage is my potatoes.
I don't like garbage in the house.
Then don't eat. I will take garbage myself.
Now I got money and got a maid, and my wife is working for the maid.
It's her day off. What are you craving about?
Isn't Annie finished eating?
She will be right out. That wind did some job for this place. So much for that. Thank God.
Sit down. Take it easy.
I had such funny pain on the top of my head.
Can I get you an aspirin?
No more roses. It's so funny. Everything decides to happen at the same time. This month is his birthday. The tree blows down. Annie comes. Everything happens seems to be coming back.
Don't you think Annie looks well?
Fine. She's a beauty. But I still don't know what brought her here. Not I'm not glad to see her, but
I thought that four of us that we'd all like to see each other again.
I always love that girl. She's one that's still committed to her fellow.
Just because she's married doesn't mean she's bemoaning Larry.
What sin isn't she?
Well, could have been in a number of things.
Like what, for instance?
I don't know, whatever it is. Can I get you aspirin?
Didn't like a headache. I had a terrible night.
What is it, Mom? Did you dream?
More than a dream. It was so real. I could reach out and touch him. And suddenly he started to fall and crying to me. Mom, see, we should never have planted the tree.
Mother!
We rushed into it, everybody in such hurry to bury him.
Mother, the wind blew it down. What magnificence has it got? Maybe you ought to put our minds to forgetting him. We're like a railroad station waiting for a train that never comes in.
Give me an aspirin.
Sure. Let's break off this. Mom, I thought that four of us might go to dinner, or maybe dancing out the show.
Fine. We can do that tonight.
Sure. And you'll begin with this aspirin.
Why did he invite her here?
Why did that bother you?
She has been in New York 3.5 years. Why all of a sudden?
Well, maybe he just wanted to see her.
Nobody comes 700 miles just to see.
Don't look at me like that. He didn't tell me any more than he told you.
He isn't going to marry her.
But how do you know he's even thinking of it?
What's going on here, Joe?
Now listen.
She isn't his girl, Joe. She knows she isn't.
You can't read her mind.
But why did she still single? Why isn't she married? She is faithful as a rock. But why did this happen the very night she came back?
What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do?
I want you to act like he's coming back, both of you.
Calm yourself.
Believe with me, Joe. I can't stand all alone.
All right. Calm yourself.
Only last week, a man turned up in Detroit, missing longer than Larry. You read it yourself.
All right. But please, calm yourself.
You, above all, have got to believe. You...
Why me above all?
Just don't stop believing.
What does that mean? Me above all? What have I got to hide? What in the hell is the matter with you, Kate? Well, 3 years, Annie. But you look great.
I heard about it. Let's eat at the show tonight, like we used to, before Larry went.
You think of him? She thinks of him.
What do you mean, Kate?
Nothing. Just that you remember him. He's in your thoughts.
That's a funny thing to say. How could I help remembering him?
Did you hang up your things?
Yeah, I could hardly find the room the closest.
That's Larry's room.
You mean they are Larry's? The shoes are all shined.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Ask me anything you like. What do you want to know?
Did you give roses to anyone?
You mean like marriage?
A sort of, yeah. Do you don't. But I know, dear. But don't say it. It's ridiculous.
I'm not Kate.
Mother, I pity money that you are the only woman after 3 years and still...
Don't be so smart. They don't say it on the radio. But I'm sure, in the dark at night, they are still waiting for their sons. Because it has to be. Because certain things have to be. And certain things have never been. Like the sun. It has to rise. It has to be. That's why there is God. Otherwise, anything could happen. Annie, you know I'm right. You know I'm right.
No, Kate.
I have to have something.
Ah. Hey. Hey, everybody. Hey, Annie, how are you?
Hello, Frank.
Oh, it's Frank. Without Frank, the stars wouldn't know when to come out.
Don't say. How is your brother? Did you go to your degree?
Oh, George has his office now.
Okay, and your father, does he expect a bar soon?
I really don't know.
I mean, there must be something in law to get him out soon, a year or so, no?
When Helm's would live, Frank?
No thanks, I will get it. Hey, you look more mature.
Take it easy, Frank. You're a married man now.
Don't say. Well, I will finish your horoscope tonight, kid. Bye.
Haven't they stopped talking about that?
Nobody talks about him anymore?
Gone unforgotten, Annie.
Tell me, because I don't want to meet anyone on the block.
I don't
They're
want
going to...
I don't want you to worry about it.
Do they still remember the case, Joe? Do they talk about you?
All the ones who held murderer, taking my mind now. None of them believed I was innocent. The beast! I was the beast! The guy who sold cracked cylinder heads for the Army Air Force. The guy who made 21 P-40s crash in Australia. 14th month later, I had one of the best shops in the state again. A respected man again. Bigger than ever.
They are all still around.
That's the only way we're licking his guts. The worst thing you did is to move away from here. You made it tough for your father when he gets out. That's why I tell you, I would like to see him move back on this block.
Don't you hold anything against him?
I never believe in crucifying people.
But he was your partner. He dragged you through the mud.
Well, he ain't my sweetheart. But you gotta forgive, don't you?
Use your key. Don't you feel...
The next time you write Dad...
I don't write him.
Well, from every now to then you...
I never write to him. Neither has my brother.
You murdered 21 pilots.
What the hell kind of talk is this?
That isn't a thing to say about a man.
It's wrong to beat a man like that. Father, no father. There is only one way to look at him. And how do you know that he wasn't one of them? You surprised me. I thought you would be mad at him.
What your father did had nothing to do with Larry. Nothing. Put that out of your head.
But we can't know that.
I'm sick of the whole subject. Now, carry on.
What's the matter with you? Those cylinder heads went into P-40s. You know I never flew those P-40s.
So, who flew these before pigs?
Listen here. The man was a fool, but those make a murderer out of him. Each half hour, the major calling for cylinder hits. They were whipping us with the telephone. That was a mistake, but it ain't murder. You mustn't feel that way about him. You understand me?
Joe, let's forget it.
Annie, the day the news came about Larry, it was in the next cell to mine. There. And he cried, Annie, for half the night.
He should have cried all night.
Annie, I don't understand why you're
going to stop it?
Don't yell at him. He just wants everybody happy.
I know.
You're the only one I know who loves his parents.
I know. I went outside, didn't I?
It's alright. It's a good thing. You know, it's lovely here. The air is sweet.
So you're not sorry to come?
Not sorry. No, but I'm not going to stay.
Love you, Annie. You have a great deal. But I don't want to take you away from anything.
I was waiting for you, Chris. Tell them you never wrote. And when you did, you were a biggies. Even in your letters. There was something ashamed.
I don't know. I'm starved.
But you got...
It's all mixed up. It's all mixed up with so many things. You remember overseas? Are you gonna command the company?
Yeah, sure.
Well, he lost them.
How many?
Just about all.
Oh, dear.
Everything was being destroyed. But it seemed to me that one new thing was made. Kind of responsibility. Man for men. Do you understand me? Then I came back here. There was no meaning in it here. The whole thing to them was just a bus accident. Then I went back to work, and that rat race again. I felt what you said, ashamed somehow, because nobody was changed at all. I felt wrong to be alive.
And you still feel that way?
Now, I want to love Annie.
Look, Chris, there is nothing wrong in your money. Your father put hundreds of planes in the air. You should be proud.
Oh, Annie, I'm satisfied with that.
Annie? It's your brother. Your brother's on the phone.
My brother?
Yeah, George. Long distance.
What does it matter? Is anything wrong?
I don't know. Can you solve it to him? Hang up. She'll cost you money.
I wonder if you ought to tell your mother yet. I mean, I'm not very good at arguments.
We'll wait till tonight. After dinner. Give it to me.
What are you doing?
Go ahead. Getting married, Dad. Well, don't you say anything?
I'm glad, Chris. I'm just... George is calling from Columbus.
Columbus?
Did Danny tell you he's going to see his father today?
No, I don't think she knew anything about it.
Chris, you think you know her pretty well?
What kind of question?
I'm just wondering. All these years, George don't go to see his father. Suddenly he goes. And she comes here.
Well, what about?
It's crazy, but it comes to my mind. She don't hold nothing against me, does she?
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm just talking. Until his last day in court, the man blamed it all on me. And this is his daughter. I mean, if she was sent here to find something...
Why? What's here to be found?
I mean, if they won't open up the case again, for the nuisance value, to hurt us.
Dad, how could you think that of her?
All right, forget it. I want a clean start for you, Chris. Christopher Killer Incorporation.
J.O. Killer is good enough.
Well, we'll talk about it later. I'll build you a house. A stone house with a driveway from the road. I want you to use what I made for you, Chris. I mean with joy. Without shame. With joy.
I will, Dad. I will.
Say it to me.
Why?
Because sometimes I think you're ashamed of the money.
No, don't feel that.
Because it's good money. There is nothing wrong with that money.
You don't want to tell me this?
Look, Chris, I'll work a mother for you. There's going to be a wedding, kid. A big wedding. Like never was seen before. Where, Annie?
George will be here. I told him it will be right.
Sure. Fine. Anything wrong about father?
No, George said he's right. But I think it's something stupid. You know my present. Hey, Chris, let's go for a drive.
Sure. Give me the keys, Dad.
That's the bar. It's pure for now.
What does George want?
He said he must see Anne. That's why he's coming.
What for?
I don't know. He's a lawyer now. George is a lawyer. All these years, he didn't even send a postcard to his father since he got from the war. Not a postcard.
So what?
Suddenly, he takes an aeroplane from New York to see his father. An aeroplane?
Well, so?
Why?
I can't read minds. Do you?
Joe, what has Steve suddenly got to tell his son?
Why do I matter what Steve got to tell his son?
You sure, Joe?
Yes, I'm sure.
Be smart, Joe. The boy is coming. Be smart.
Once and for all, did you hear what I said? I said I'm sure!
All right, Joe. Just be smart.
هناك بطل كتب القصة قديما لكي يشعر الناس بشعوره، لكن هذه القصة لن تؤدي إلى أي شعور بدون أدائكم الفعلي. انتوا اللي عملتوا القصه معنا. الاداء الباهر اللي انتوا عملتوه، حتى التلعثم اللي كان بتاع كريس وهو بينسى الكلام، هو كان عايز ينسى، حتى التوتر بتاع الاب. القصه في مدلولها قصه اول سانس، هي قصه الصراع داخل الاب اللي هو بيحوش او بيحاول ان هو يحجز الصراع بالذنب، ان هو عارف ان ابنه اتقتل في احد الطيارات اللي هو صنع قطع غيارها، وبين صراع الام اللي هي منتظره ان ابنها يرجع مع انها عارفه ان هي مجنونه وهي بتفكر كده، وبين صراع الابناء اللي عايزين يعيشوا حياتهم لكن هم بالفعل يعني انا يعني I'm so highly affected by your performance today. Arthur Miller would not have written anything better than what you did, and I'm so grateful to you and to your great Mr. Mohamed. Thank you.